I think you're amazing.
You are too, Henry.
Thank you so much. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
Thank
you.
God bless you
Thank you.
too. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. Let me first of all begin by saying thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you tuning in today and joining. I really appreciate your presence here with me today. I want to say we welcome all of our new viewers that's watching us today. I really believe that today's show will inspire you. My subject today is what you say will manifest. What you say will manifest. I will be coming from a couple of scriptures from time to time. We still use the Bible. We still talk about spirituality and practicality, mental health. We talk about a variety of things, but I do have an interest in spirituality. I do love the Bible. I love some of the stories. I don't understand it all, but having been raised in church and having my own experience with God myself, I most certainly just can't, just kick this to the curb and just forget about it. No, I have a love for this as I have a love and a passion for every other subject that I talk about. And I know that you do too, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be watching. So what you say will manifest. You know, when I was thinking about this earlier today, as I was reflecting on what I was going to do this show on this week, I was thinking about how sometimes people are not aware of the words that they speak. Because what we need to understand is that our words can oftentimes frame our life and our world. That's why it is very imperative, it's very important for you to understand today that the words that you speak will manifest. I believe that whether those words are good or bad, you speak good things, they manifest. You speak bad things, they manifest. So it's important that we align ourselves in regards to the scripture that I'm about to mention, because not only the words that we speak are powerful, but God Himself demonstrated how powerful words are. We're not going to read a whole scripture or whatnot, but I just want to, let's go to Genesis chapter 1. Let's just read verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Verse 2 says, now the earth was formless and empty. That means it was void, there was nothing in it. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Now watch this. Verse 3 begins by saying what? And God said. If you notice, you'll see a pattern there. If you go down to verse 6, it says, and God said. Verse 9, and God said. Verse 11, and God said. Verse, verse 14, and God said. You see this pattern, and in relations to these scriptures, like verse 2 here, it says, and God said, let there be light. When it says, and God said, that implies that God spoke words from His mouth, and the words that He spoke out of His mouth came into being, came into existence. The world at that time, before it was created, like I said, it was formless. There was nothing here. It was void. It was dark, empty, until God spoke. And when He spoke, things manifested. He said, let there be light, and guess what? There was light. If you read some of these other verses, and God said, in verse 6, for example, let there be a vault between the waters to separate from water to water. Verse 9, and God said, let the waters under the sky be gathered to one place, and let the dry ground appear. Verse 11, and God said, let the land produce vegetation, plants, trees that bears fruit, all these things. Why am I mentioning this, and why am I starting right here? I'm starting right here because I want you to understand the power of your words. That your words are so powerful that, as I said earlier, it can frame your whole world, your whole life. Some of us are in a position today, or where we're at today, based off of the words that we've been speaking over ourselves. I'm going to always be broke. Well, if that's your mentality, guess what? You're going to always be broke. I'm always sad. Well, guess what? You just spoke it. You're going to always be sad. I will never get married. Well, the likely chances of you getting married would probably be slim. Why? Because you just spoke it. You just said it. I'm no good. I'm worthless. You're probably going to always believe that about yourself because you spoke it, you said it, and God said. What are you saying today? Because whatever you're saying is being manifested. It's not only just about what God said in the book of Genesis and the creation story. It's about what you're saying. Even this applies to me too. And Henry said, what am I saying? Because what I'm saying is going to either produce something good for me or it's going to produce something bad for me. This means that I have a choice. I have to reevaluate what I'm saying. I have to reevaluate the words that I'm speaking over my life. Even as of recently, a young lady that I'm very close to, I had told her, I forgot what I had said, but she says, don't say that, Henry. Don't speak that. Be positive. And I had to think about it for a second. I said, you know what? She was right. I'm glad that she corrected me because she said, don't speak that. She says, that's not positive. That's negative. You have that frame of mind, that frame of believing, that frame of thinking, you'll never get anywhere in life. So I want to encourage you today. I want you to know that there is power in your words. Is there another scripture that says that life and death is in the power of your tongue? There are several scriptures that talks about the tongue and how powerful it is. We have to be careful the things that we say. And not only we have to be careful about the things that we say and speak over our lives, we have to be careful about the words that people speak over our lives. There's a difference. It's one thing for you to say stuff about yourself and to speak things into existence yourself. It's another thing when you allow somebody else to do it over you. I am extremely cautious today, extremely cautious about who I allow to speak over my life. I don't listen to every preacher. I don't watch every TV evangelist. It's just to protect my own spiritual health. It doesn't mean I'm better than them. God knows I'm not better than them. I don't view myself that way. Those that know me personally know that. However, you have to protect your spiritual health, especially if you've been through religious trauma. And I know a lot of people don't believe that that's real, but that is a real thing. A lot of people have been through religious trauma where they've been abused by leadership, abused by the church in some way. They call it church abuse. I've been through that. And that's something that shouldn't be tolerated. So you got to watch what people speak over you. Oh, you're going to always be sick. No, I'm not. You have to reverse the curse, so to speak. You have to reverse it. No, I'm not going to always be sick. I'm not going to always be broke. I'm not going to always be in lack. I'm not going to always be in poverty. You have to reverse it and send it back to wherever it came from. There's one more scripture I want to encourage you with, and that is in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. I believe that what we think can manifest as well. Not only what you say can manifest, but also the things that you think can be manifested. How many know that's watching right now that you cannot even form words unless you've thought it first? We're talking about the power of the mind, because that's where it starts at, right up here. It starts here, and then whatever you think, you say, and then whatever you say, it manifests. That's how it works. That's how it works. But what should we be thinking on as I go to a close? Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Wow. So that answers our question today. We need to think on these things. I want to think. This is Henry Harris. I can't speak for you, but I want to think on those things that are lovely, that are right, that are pure, that are admirable, that's of excellence. We should think about these things, because what you think you will say, and what you say will manifest. Let's be cautious today, the words that you're speaking over your life, because they are very powerful. Imagine the God of the universe. As I said earlier, there was nothing here. He didn't go touching on stuff. He didn't touch this and the plants and vegetations came about. He didn't go touch this and Adam was made. He didn't go touch that and divided the waters as we read and all that. He didn't touch that and said, "Let there be light." He spoke it. There's a difference between touching something and speaking it. He spoke it, and when he spoke it, things came into being. And you need to look at your life today. Am I where I'm at today based off of what I thought? And whatever it was that I thought, I spoke it. Could that be a result of why? Could that be a result of why I am where I am today, based off of my words? If so, if that's a negative thing for you, you can change it. You can't change the past. You can't change what didn't work before. I always tell people all the time, you can't change that. You can't change history, but you can start over again. You can do it right. Think on these things. For the words that you speak, they're not just words. Some people think they're just words. I can just say whatever I want. No, there ain't just words. Your words that you speak are powerful, and your words are life, and your words is a force. It's a force. Just like God spoken and let there be light, bam, that's the same power that you have residing within you today. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be careful about the words that I speak. I want to do what Paul said. I want to think of those things that are right, that are true, that are pure, that are notable, that are of excellence. If anything that's of excellence and praiseworthy, we should think about these things. Thank you so much for watching the show today. If you enjoyed today's show, would you do me a favor? How about subscribing to our YouTube channel? You're actually on it right now. Go to youtube.com/Henry Harris 100 and hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Facebook.com/The Brother Henry. The brother's abbreviated BRO period Henry and You Show. Follow the page or like it, and we post a lot of inspirational things over there. And tell a friend about us, okay? I really love you and I appreciate you. And remember, you're not just a number here. I really appreciate you and being a part of my life today. And thanks for listening to the message. If it helped just one of you, would you consider sharing it? God bless you. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you.
And I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.